Hello, I was asked to talk to you about Wandsworth. Well, Wandsworth, having looked all this information up, is about halfway between Sydney and Brisbane in New South Wales, Australia. Wandsworth was so named after the English counterpart in London that they probably wanted me to talk about. And the name was originally used there for a squatting run, which is an area of land for pastoral grazing that was given over to probably either a free man or an ex-convict. In 1850 it was carrying 7,250 sheep, 1,150 cattle and 250 horses. And a decade later that had grown to 12,000 sheep, 2,000 cattle and 400 horses. It became a semi-autonomous village with its own bakery, post office, store, bank and school established in 1862 and a church. The cricket pitch established by the locals is still in use, and that was established in 1862, and it was for the venue for a match with the touring English team in 1885. A post office was opened there in 1870, and the town, rather than being Wandsworth Station, was renamed Wandsworth the same year. Sadly, as with British post offices, the post office shut in 1968. As for the present day, at the 2006 census, the census area around Wandsworth had a recorded population of a massive 80, of which just 52.5% were males, 47.5% females. The region had 24 families and 64 private dwellings. The district's primary industries are agriculture, mostly dedicated to sheep and beef cattle breeding. I was able to find out less about Wandsworth in Newfoundland and Labrador, which is a settlement located southwest of Burren in Canada. It had a population of 91 back in 1956, but doesn't even appear to be recorded nowadays. As for the Wandsworth we know in London, well, until 1889, the current area of Wandsworth was part of the county of Surrey. In 1855, the Wandsworth district of the metropolis was formed, comprising of the parishes of Battersea, not including Penge, Clapham, Putney, Streatham, Tooting Gravely and Wandsworth. Battersea was then removed from the district in 1888. In 1900, the remaining district became the Metropolitan Borough of Wandsworth, and Battersea became the Metropolitan Borough of Battersea. The London Borough of Wandsworth was formed in 1965 from the former area of the Metropolitan Borough of Battersea and the Metropolitan Borough of Wandsworth, but excluding Clapham and most of Streatham, which was transferred to the London Borough of Lambeth. Wandsworth, of course, got its name from being the place where all magical wands were valued before going off to be sold at Diagon Alley. The suggestion that the place got its name from being situated upon the banks of the small river Wandle, which falls into Thames in this parish, and the fact that Worth in the Saxon language signifies either a village or a shore, obviously are very far-fetched. The church, which stands nearly in the centre of the old village, is dedicated to All Saints. Now this of course is highly prescient, being much more of cultural value than the Spice Girls. Famous people from Wandsworth include Clement Attlee, Margaret Rutherford the actress, and Jack Dee. Now you may be tempted if you see Jack Dee to wave and say hi Jack, but never say that if you see him on a plane. Amongst Wandsworth's landmarks is Clapham Junction railway station, which is not actually in Clapham but in Battersea. The station is the busiest UK station for interchanges between services and one of the busiest in Europe. The first football match ever played under Football Association rule took place on January the 9th, 1863 at Battersea Park, and England haven't lost a match since. In the Church of All Saints, near the pulpit, is the tomb of an officer of Henry V's army, probably from the Battle of Agincourt, who died in 1420. The part of the inscription containing his name unfortunately has been torn off, and his figure, which was engraved on brass, has been much mutilated. Interestingly, when Henry V needed to raise a large amount of money for his French campaigns, he raised them by loans rather than taxes. He sent letters appealing for money to individuals and towns, and royal jewels, plate and regalia were handed out as security for repayment. And one major individual in London who lent a lot of money to Henry was Sir Richard Whittington, later known by us as Dick Whittington. It is said by some that Dick Whittington had a beard because 9 out of 10 owners found that their cats preferred whiskers. Goodbye.